What is going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. Today we're looking back at our 30 kill game from the other day. This is going to us looking in depth at every situation we get into and how you can play solo v squads yourself and win more fights. Now, first of all, we've already landed here. We've got ourselves a gun. We've got ourselves armor. They are the things I prioritize straight away when landing in PUBG. Then it's all up to the ears to try and detect who's around me. If you watch most of my games, you'll see I don't actually watch who comes down. We just try and play of the information we get given. Now, we're going to jump straight into it. Unfortunately, there is no audio of the game for you guys, so I'm going to tell you what I hear at what times to make it a little bit easier. Unfortunately, I talk way too much to just edit the game straight out, so I'm going to have to talk and tell you down each individual detail. Let's get into it, though. Now, straight away here, like I said, we've got our armor. We're just looking for a little bit more loot, what we kind of want to use. We did want to use an M4, but we find the K2, and I'm one of the people who stick with what they get at the start most of the time. Now, we hear a shot on our right straight away. It sounds a little bit bottish, so I'm predicting it's a bot. I can talk to chat here while I'm reloading. That's what I'm doing. Now, straight away, we spot this first enemy right here. He's kind of in a weird spot, not too sure what he's doing. We're just going to go for the shots on him straight away, but this is the first player we meet. Managed to damage him a little bit there. Because it's a Tommy gun and we've hit him in the leg and the arm, we know we've done a little bit of damage. He's not going to be peeking again straight away. We go for a little bit of a chase, but get shot in the back immediately. Now, we spot this guy here, right here in the middle, as we turn around for a quick glance. So we're going to go straight for the shots on this guy. But also, he's not looking at us, so he's definitely not the threat. So that makes us know there's at least two enemies over in that situation over there, because he is definitely not the one who has shot me, because you can see him walking kind of the opposite way. Now, we immediately spot the player on the left here as well. So that's the guy who was first off shooting us. Now, this guy here is a bigger threat than anything else than this guy, and even the guy behind us right now. The guy behind us probably healing, still playing a little bit scared, definitely seemed like a new player. Now, there's two ways to take this situation here. We can either stop shooting this guy and just aim at this guy, or we can push ourselves closer to the truck so that guy can't see us. So we start taking the shots to this guy as we strafe to the left to use the truck as cover so the other guy can't hit us. Unfortunately, we don't get that guy down, so he's taken a bit of damage, so we know he's weak, but we're going to worry about the other guy now. We do a quick switch to the K2, go for an aim in at this guy, but as I aim in here, I have a decision to make. We have the guy in the open here, and we have this guy. Now, our crosshair is defaulted to this guy here because he is the closer target. But there's no way this guy's going to go down quicker than this guy. And this guy is the threat. So we need to try and get that left guy down as quickly as we can. The right guy right now, if he's the guy we tagged before, should be a little bit weak. Shouldn't be so much of an issue. And he's still trying to get himself set up right now. See, we take the shots of the first ones first, then switch to the right, and then manage to catch him running away as well. Now, here's where you have to be ready. We remember we had this guy from behind who we managed to take down his health earlier, and he's finally going to push after his teammates go down. So if we watch this back over again, we take the shots of the first guy, we switch around, go for the left guy. No, this guy's going to probably sprint for cover as we spot him. And now, as soon as we take him down, we've only seen two in that building. Now, we've got to watch out for this third threat. This might be their teammate who's now going to push over. Fortunately for us, we catch him, and this means we can use this bit of cover right here, this cover here, to stop him shooting as we go for the reload. If we go further enough right, this is going to be in his blind spot, and he's going to have to push either forward, or he can't shoot me. We managed to push around. We use that cover. He can no longer shoot us. We get the reload. We push back round, go for a pre-fire. He's kind of ran away. Makes me definitely think he's definitely a new player. He could kind of go for that push. We didn't hit him at all. He also didn't hit us, though. You don't know what kind of player he is. Now, in my head right now, I'm thinking, right, we got two down over there. They're definitely a bigger threat still than this other guy. If there's another one over there rezzing right now, there's going to be three people up over there, and I don't want to be in a 1v3 situation. I need to take my advantages while I've got them. We're going to push over there and go for a quick grenade kill to try and get the first on at least one of them. We spot one down, though, realize he's not getting first revived. Maybe the second one is. We keep paying attention to the right to see if the other guy's pushing, but we're finally just going to push over here, make sure we get the firsts. As you can see, we just run in with our Tommy gun, switch to TPP to get information. Sorry about the little bit of blurriness. It's just the video for some reason does this. If I pause and stop, it might fix itself. There we go. This guy right here, we can spot him behind the counter. This is where we can abuse the Tommy gun. As soon as we spot him, you can see we go to the crosshair mini. The crosshair Tommy gun, sorry. So, the hipfire spray with any SMG is extremely overpowered. And this means you can run at nearly full speed without having to do an over-the-shoulder aim to slow you down. So as you can see right now, we've gone to hip-fire walk speed so we can walk strafe at the same time. What this allows us to do is use this crosshair here to try and hit our targets. And as you can see, it's very, very small how the crosshair actually is. This is our target. If we can get our target in this area, he's going to die. The bullets can't go anywhere but his body, which makes it extremely overpowered to hit fire SMGs up close over the shoulder due to the speed you get with your hip firing skills. Now, this is a little bit different if you have an AR or something, as the crosshair will look a lot bigger, maybe a bit more like this. So it's a bit more random with ARs. Managed to get the hip fire on him nice and quickly. He goes down just like that. Now we're just going to try and push the last guy, who we believe is their last teammate. He was still over here earlier, and he was playing very slow. So we're going to believe he's still down right now, or still trying to heal. We spot him there, medding up. He's been struggling for meds the whole time. And I'm just talking to chat while chasing him. You can see he's running away. Managed to clip him in the back with a Tommy gun. Go crouch, aim it down. Very easy to control. There's our first squad wipe. Made it a little bit easier. Think they're a bit of a new team, but it worked out very, very well in the end. So we've now switched over. We've heard a few shots at terminal. So we're trying to push ourselves up into the building to try and locate the enemies. We hear shots at terminal right now. We hear someone over here. It's just a bot. You can kind of tell from the random shots they make. And the more you play, the more used you get to what's a bot. We can just single tap this bot and get away with it. We also downed another one on the way up. But that's not in the video because he was just walking around randomly. And I say, blooming bots. But now we're going to try and push ourselves along to terminal to see what we can deal with this enemy team in this location. They've been fighting for a while. We keep hearing them shoot. So we're trying to get as close as we can and work out what is actually going down in terminal. As we get closer, we're going to start using our ears to try and detect what they're doing. We can hear shots on the right side right now. But here we go. We're going to play this a little bit slow. Go down to walking speed here and there and try and listen. That's most of what these fights are going to be, is using your ears to listen and to listen and hear their enemies. As you can see, we're just walking around trying to get ears on them. Now, right here, we hear footsteps. So this is how high my headset is, because I hear the footsteps. And immediately, from my location, you can see my character is facing. We know he is in this area below me. Now, I should be using my TPP here to the full advantage, but because I believe I can hear him so well, I know exactly where his pinpoint position is. As we walk over, we TPP a little bit just in case, but then we can still hear him strafing a little bit, so I know he's just in front, right in front of us here. Go straight for the aim, take the shots, take him down. We're also going to go for the first. He might have an AED. We don't want to get him res there. I don't think his teammates are going to come for him anyway. We also hear one little footstep below us right now. So this makes us worry that this enemy team below might now be pushing us. So just a random nade assist. We heard him on the right side. So we're going to pre-nade the right stairwell just in case there's more already starting to push up. The nade goes in. We push over while the nade's blowing up. And we don't see anyone or hear them anymore. So we kind of know there's someone in the area, but they're starting to play very, very slow. So what we're just going to do, we're just going to hold this corner for a little bit and just listen. We hear shots on the right side. That's past the buses. So we know there's an enemy team in that location. But we still believe there's someone here. Now, once again, we hear this guy below. He starts to push up. Go for that hip fire, Tommy, once again. Told you it's OP. It's really good. There we go. We spot another player immediately, though. This was the team I could hear fighting just a second ago behind the buses. Now, we spot this guy behind here. We're just going to go for an ego chow straight away and see if we can get a name on him. He doesn't go for the peek straight away. As we start to sprint over, though, he just tries to go for a run. Luckily, we down him quickly. Now, we have a choice here. We can now either first this guy or leave him as bait. Now, I know a little while ago, I went for the first because I didn't want to be in a 1v3, but this player is in a very open area. Now, I definitely thought there was more fighting earlier as well, so I'm guessing he has a decent teammate. So I'm going to leave this guy up for now. I think I might have a nade in the back pocket. If I don't, he's kind of in the open. It's going to be hard for him to res unless this guy's super good. We're going to go back to using our ears once again to see what we can listen for. I feel like we can hear someone on our left side, but we're not seeing him right now. And there we go. We managed to spot this guy and once again go for an ego chow and just go for a full-on spray, which we probably shouldn't do because it's very, very over-aggressive. We should probably pull back straight away, but we believe in our aim. We're going to go back here just so we can see this player again when we're trying to look for him so you guys can see exactly what happens. We're trying to listen, and then we felt like we hear someone on our right. We spot him very quickly here. Then we try and back up. You can see I flex back round to him. I aim in straight away and go for the shots. Now, in reality, I should have backed up. Now, we don't know how many there are of them, so I'm just going to back up to this corner, go for a first aid. We're going to jump in this high position here, as it makes it a little bit more awkward for them to shoot us. Gives us more of an aerial advantage as well. Now, he could probably... He could already be on the res, but I'm going to just sit up here, use this for TPP information, believing he's probably already ran by now if we don't see him. And there we go. We managed to spot him on his teammate right there. Or that's already the res. Now, that means his player was resed. We spotted both of them. Now we know he's down again. We know his teammate's down there. He's going to go for the res because he believes I'm in a place where I can't really take him on. I'm going to drop down in this place here. Now, I probably should have landed on the bus, but I'm going to go straight down here. So if I fall down, he could go for a couple of shots if he gets off the res quick enough, but it means I'm covered by the bus. We see his leg there. That means he has not gone for the res. We spot him move just a little bit in this bottom corner right here. So once again, we've got that Tommy gun, and that means we've got the hip fire OP machine. As we push around, we can see we go for the sprint. And now, this is what I call the pullback method, ladies and gentlemen. We run forwards, and they try and predict where you're moving to. So instead of keeping that momentum going, we suddenly pull back and start walking the other way. And when they're aiming in, they're trying to track you. Trying to track back is very difficult for most players. As you can see, we keep going left, and then we go right again. Now, he gets a good, lucky headshot on me there. Looks like he got a double headshot on me, actually. Nearly breaks my helmet. So I should have nearly gone down. Luckily, we get him down in time. We're going to first them out now. We're weak. We want to just get rid of them. We're going to first aid. And I still believe there's one near terminal. Oh, and my controller dies here because I'm a terrible PUBG player. And luckily, there is no one there. We're just going to switch our remote and see what happens. Oh, dear. There you go. No one else shot us, so I'm guessing they were just a two-man. One of them might have been in the comeback. BR. It's hard to tell. So, we've just been walking around terminal for a bit, seeing what we can find on the hill. And unfortunately, we don't see anyone or hear anyone. We're going to rotate back into terminal to try and find a vehicle. Luckily for us, we spot this random guy on the outside. Managed to go for the shots on him nice and early. Just get him down. That crouch and lean with the K2 is very, very nice. That wasn't another player. We were just shooting a random pole in the middle of nowhere. So we went back into terminal. We found ourselves a car, and now we're going to be looking for an enemy team, trying to get ourselves into a nice position. Now we hear a buggy driving just in front of us, so we're just going to go for the kill here straight away. We can see they've driven down into this area here. Now this area here is very difficult to drive in, especially for the car I'm in. So this is where I've got my advantage though, because they're also going to be slowing down. We switch seats, go with the Tommy gun spray because we have that 50 mag. Unfortunately, the hills make it so we don't get them, but they're still just there, and they're in a little bit of a panic mode, I feel, right now. I'm going to switch to the K2. Now, let's see how I switch to the K2 here again. We're going to watch this one more time. So we go for the drive-by with the Tommy gun. We hit the slide. We hit him once, twice there, so he's a little bit weak, but they are definitely in panic mode. We switch over to the K2 before we switch seats, so when we jump out, we have the full spray, go to the crouch, hit him straight away. And this guy's kind of just spazzed out in his vehicle. It's kind of just gone a bit random. We're going to have to try and find him. I'm pretty sure this guy drowns, and I just don't really spot him. So we take the car again, and we hear some more shots on this right compound. We have a little scout here with the information we can see. We've got the Tommy gun, so we're feeling confident on these close pushes because of that hip-fire meta. We see a lot of vehicles in here, and we hear shots going from terminal over to here. We immediately spot one in this right window here right now. We can't see it, but the right window right here, we spot at least one in here. So he's definitely on our threat radar immediately. So as soon as we pull up to a compound, we want to try and work out how many enemies are in this compound and try and get rid of at least one as quickly as possible. We switch to the molly. We go for a little pre-molly. We can hear the shots coming at us from the right side. These guys aren't a massive threat right now, but they are shooting across. So they are something to keep an eye on. As we push up to here quickly, we're going to try and listen to what we can. We spot at least two in there straight away. Now, The window shots are very, very hard, but hip firing does help a lot. If you're using a shotgun, don't go for these window shots because it's very, very difficult to shoot through them. Just hip fire, keep straight for pass. Remember, this is very risky. I'm going to switch to the stun and go for a little stun in there. Now we know they're stunned, just going to go for the shots again. Probably didn't need to aim in here, but just maybe a little bit more accurate knowing they couldn't shoot me back. Trying to find out more. We thought that was going to be the last of them, but they don't shoot. They don't die immediately, and we don't hear an AED too quickly. Get shot at the side here, which is going to be very unlucky. Now, this is one of their movements again, which really puts players off. Most players, as soon as they get shot in the back, they continue to sprint in a location. Now, if you're a character and you end up trying just to sprint to cover, this is what gets you killed. I'm here, right? And I run directly into that door while this guy starts to shoot me. He has a clean line of sight and a clean shot the whole time. I'm probably going to die. Now, me being here and doing the 360 round to here puts his aim off. Once again, he starts to aim to the right. I swing round and go back to the left. It's very hard for players to track, especially if they're new. And from this guy's outfit, you can tell he's probably a new player. We get him down and immediately spot the other one above him. We saw his head for like a millisecond there. So we go for a little pre-fire on it. Unfortunately, it's a hard shot to hit, and we're both strafing. He's so close, he's shooting down at the floor, though. I'm more worried about this other right team now, because they've been there for a while, and I thought they'd start pushing over. Doesn't look like they have yet. We're just going to push with the Tommy gun, because it absolutely lasers, and that guy was definitely a new player and a new team, which made it very fortunate. Now, we have the other team just shooting at us from far away, but once again, they haven't pushed us immediately, so it makes me think they're not the massive threat in the world. But it means they're still in terminal right now, still shooting me. That means I have a little bit of advantage here. If I get boosted, I'm able to get in front of the other team. We spot the player. So right then, we spotted the player right here. That means he's got a long way to go looking at our mini-map. He has to cross up through here and get to all the way up here if he doesn't have a vehicle. Now, all we have to do is beat him up here, and that's a free kill. So we're going to get our vehicle as quickly as we possibly can and start to rotate on top of the hill. We know they're in terminal. If we can get above them, they're going to have to just walk all the way up the hill. And we even say this in the video. Now, we don't hear them straight away or detect them. So we're going to think they're still in terminal, still pushing over. Luckily, we've got this rock here, and that means we could just use this rock as cover. You don't want to push left or right. You want to get on this rock as a head glitch, and you can scout. Still looking to see. You know, players are kind of weird. They might just be walking up this left side, so keep making sure. Use your TPP for information. Now, we hear the player here. Luckily, he's in crouch mode. Once again, going for that weird hip fire spray again. He sees us. We pull back in. We go for the hip fire. He's going to jump up, go for that first hip fire, spot the other guy still running up, switch that K2, go for a quick peek, and it's all over. Now, a good thing to remember is that many players struggle with the close quarter combat. So if you can get yourself to learn these hip fire sprays, you're going to be you're going to do extremely well in these situations. We've got 39 alive with 19 left right now, and our zone's pushing us in. We're going to have a little bit of luck here when we push into this next zone. So we're about to cross the bridge now. We currently have the K2 equipped, so we're going to have to switch that to the Tommy gun by doing the quick hold A switch in our inventory. That gives us the Tommy gun, so we can now pull up close to an enemy team. Now, we think there's going to be a team up here around somewhere from the shots we heard earlier. We're now just using our ears again for information to see what we can find. Trying to get on this rock, but it won't allow us. Now, we immediately spot this player on top of the hill. Now, he's a big threat, but we got to worry if he has enemy teammates as well. So here, we know this guy's above us, but we know exactly where he is. He is not a threat to us right now. He's probably going to chuck grenades and Molotovs because that's what people love to do. But because he's called the player out, his teammate has probably said, I'm going to push around the right side. I'm going to try and flank. And we need to try and find that player before he gets to us. We're going to back up away from this. We knew the nade was coming in. We thought the flank was also going to come in. Didn't come in straight away. We get shot from the left there from the guy who was flanking. Now, hopefully, he's made a mistake. He has pushed into the open. We can get him down as quickly as we can, hitting some nice shots. We're also now expecting immediately for the other guy to be pushing down from the right side to try and get behind us, because that's normally what players do as well. He didn't, which has actually confused me. I actually get shot from the same place that player's in. Now, I have got hit a little bit low because he hit that headshot on us. But we can get medded here, and we can just go for the push. He's got the down. He's going to go for the smokes in that. We've got the Tommy gun again. Here's the hip fire spray. Left and right. Puts their aim off. They can't do anything about it. We can first, just to make sure there's no AEDs involved. That guy did have an AED, so that's why you first in them situations. We're also getting sniped at from the white building over there right now by a random player. And they're also shooting the down players and randomly into the smoke. He's a little bit far to insta-beam, but it would have been amazing if we got him. There was a team on the right in the compound as well, but this is a hard push for them. We walk through the compound, get all the way through. We're going to have to just push this guy in this white building because we need the kill. A car's going past. It's not worth shooting. You don't have to shoot everything. We're just going to try and push around it right now. We're going to keep pushing towards this building to try and get this random solo we saw here earlier. Now, once again, this is the shot from behind with the spin movement. This guy's tracking us perfectly as we walk ourselves down. I don't know how long he's been up here, but once again, if you walk in a straight line, he's going to beam you. But if you saw, we did the weird 360 thing again, where we were like this, and it very well put this guy off. His aim starts at us, it starts to track, and then it has to track in a circular motion, and by then, he's lost it. Luckily, we managed to down him as quick as we can, but we are in the open, so we want to try and get to this rock as cover. Now, that's one of the things to remember as well. This is probably one of the biggest things, is that movement. Lots of players struggle with it. They don't understand that going around in a circle and that, going crouch, is going to help you massively. Going to try and run to cover there, you are guaranteed dead. You do not have the time. Sometimes you just have to believe and go for the shots, and if you die, you die. Is he hiding the whole time, chat? Do you think he's hiding there the whole time? Gonna see if we can spot this player. We do. Luckily, he's not getting res. Doesn't look like there's an AD on him. We get the first on him. Spot the player in here again. Go for the shots. He moves just in time. That Call of Duty timing, I like to call it. Now, at the same time, we heard a sniper shoot down below the bridge right now. So we can hear teams fighting in this location. Just to remind you that we know they're here. We've got a player here. These are our main threats right now. There's also people sniping at us from the back, but we're just going to hope they miss. Sometimes hoping is just the thing you got to do. We've got enemies here and this enemy here. They are our biggest threats right now. And as we can see, the zone has pushed itself in a little bit more. What we want to do is try and get to this part of the cover right here. There is no cover here, and the teams are all shooting across, so we have to push down here and try and take on this player and then hold this enemy team out. If we hold this enemy team out, we should be able to get ourselves into zone. We spot this guy running away. He looks like he's just trying to run to zone. And once again, you can tell from his outfit, he's got a new outfit. Around this other side, we've got a bit of a more try-hard team. So we're going to keep pushing as we believe that guy's just going to run to zone. Hopefully he doesn't catch us out. Now, we don't know where this team's going to go. Are they going to rotate above or below the bridge? We suspect them pushing below, but we're going to try and get this boost on before this fight has started. We're going to push this cover here. We don't see this guy. We're looking for him. We're hoping he's just ran. And the blue has started to push. We heard this team, so we know they're coming. There's the first one right there. We go for the shots. Managed to get him down. Now, the blue's going to sting after this, so we need to be very, very careful. There's the random player again. Get a couple of shots on him. That should be enough to stop him peeking once again. Now, we are in the blue, and it is going to hurt a little bit, so we're just going to kind of hide in the blue for a second with all our first aids and wait for this team to run past. Luckily, they do. They're not ready for a fight. He's focused on getting to zone and probably not checking here all the time. We have enough first aids to keep making our way in, but we're just going to make sure we keep an eye on it. We're in a very, very weird spot right now that makes it very difficult for any team. We're going to first aid up here again, just because we know we're still looking for this random guy. Luckily, we spot him just crouching through the ground, going prone. We're going to get in zone here and take the shots just so the blue isn't hurting us as we do it. We're going to go for the single taps here, just because we don't want to go for a full spray and miss our shots. Shooting slowly sometimes works. You can see we're now getting it down into our last kind of circle here. It's a very tough zone for a solo. We're going to need a bit of luck. So we have a little bit of a cut there, but all we do is heal up and we walk all the way over to this location. Now, we can see a team fighting in this right corner. They're pretty far away. They're not a massive threat. But we also hear teams shooting on our left right now. Now, this is a big decision in the game. Now, we spot these guys here. This is probably the biggest fight in the whole game. These guys here, they look like they're a decent team. They're set up already. They're ready to fight. We are out of zone. We are out of bounds. And we need to get to this rock, which is also out of bounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way to that rock and feed the information and see what we can do. So they haven't spotted us yet. We could go for the shot on this guy. Now, I'm laying prone so I can have better accuracy with my K2, but I'm just hoping he doesn't spot me right now. And I could go for the shot, but it's just not worth it in the end. This is where you have to take your decision-making into account. This team, I have to cross this road. I'm pretty much in the open. I shoot, I then have to take on this team. Even if I knock one, I then have to fight 2 or 3 players with the cover of the cars. So I'm going to get to this rock and see what I can do. We are not in a good position right now, and they're relocating their cars. They're setting themselves up a little bit more. So we're just sitting here. Now, there's a buggy which starts to drive in from over here up down this road. Now, this buggy immediately gives us a distraction. What we need to do is get to this rock. This rock gives us a bit of cover, somewhere to work from, and we're also in zone. So hopefully, this buggy gives us a big enough distraction that we can at least cross the road. Now, we can immediately see this player up here has gone fully focused onto the buggy, pushing close. This means he's not going to be paying attention this way at all. This player is also looking this way. This means we've got 2 players now not paying attention here at all. They don't know I'm here. This is my opportunity. Now, you have 2 choices here. I could try shoot one and down them, give my position away, still have to cross the road, or cross the road before we take the shots. And that is what you've got to learn to do. As we can see, the 3rd player also runs up to get ready to shoot the buggy. Means they're all distracted. We start to go for the run right now. And we're going to try and get to this rock as they're all fighting the buggy boy. We see that guy gets tagged in the leg. We think this guy spots us as well. So we're going to go for the spray on the guy who spots us. And we do manage to get him down. And luckily, that other guy as well got tagged by that sniper rifle in the leg. We also made it across the road. So that other player, their 3rd player, can't shoot us as we cross the road. He does tag us once though. So GG. We're now going to go for the push with the Tommy gun. Like I said, we don't want to be in a 1v3, 1v4 situation. We need to go for the kill straight away. Going to go for that hip fire spray again, a little bit randomly. There we go. We managed to get that team down, and that was huge. That was the play of the game right there. Not shooting that team early on, getting ourselves across that road before we took the shots. We spot this guy far away. We're going to have to go crouch and go for the shots, but we're just going to have to remember he's there because we're not able to get him down. We've got 9 players alive right now. We're hearing multiple fights go on still. So we're just going to take our time and we're going to heal our way all the way up. 8 alive now as we're trying to wait for this end zone. Now, we've also got to have a bit of patience. We see the smoke down here, meaning there's a team down here. We've also got the guy across the road. If we can get rid of the boy across the road from us, we have all the enemies kind of in this triangle area, which would be much better than the behind guy. All we have to do is try and down the behind guy, and we should be in a good position. He's going to be our main focus. We see he's going to go for the cross here, but this is a hard spray. And once again, you can see he has that weird junky movement, what I'm talking about. Rather than trying to get to the cover, does the weird junky movement. He's in cover over there. He's waiting. We're going to go for a spray on this random team in the middle of nowhere. We've got Smoke Boy there as well. He's in a hard position, and now we're getting shot up on top of the hill as well. We're going to try and wrap around and catch this guy one more time. Luckily, we get a nice little bit of a spray on him there, and we managed to get him down with that K2. We're now just praying he doesn't have that AED. Now he is down. He has now given us that triangle of death. These players are locked in behind this hill. They're all around here. I can use this hill as my information. Even though I have 8 seconds, if I push up here and start shooting this team in the back, the team we hear up top left will be able to take shots on them, and then it'll be just me and the team on top of the hill. As we run over, we manage to catch them, go for the spray once again, take one down there. We spot the other guy pushing himself in. We go for the spray. Going to go for the first again, just in case of the AED. The blue's going to be an issue now for him anyway. They now kill the last guy, which kills the rest, which means we are now in our 1v3 situation. Looking at the zone, we know we have a little bit of cover on the left side, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So we're going to have to wrap round to that car we saw before. At least we got the 30 bomb. We're going to take a little bit of blue damage here, use the car, just because running in, we're going to get shot at and die. We have to use this car. We don't know how much cover we've got. We have to try and get one down early on. Luckily, there's a little bit of a dip here, which allows us to go prone. Now, this is a tough situation. As we come over the hill, we can try and spot the enemies. We have one here, I believe, maybe one here, and we saw one on the right. Now, the biggest goal in a 1v3 situation, as it may be simple, is just getting the first one down. If one of them makes a mistake, it allows to open up mistakes for them even more. Sometimes they want to res, sometimes they play over aggressive, and that's all they're going to do. If I was the enemy team right now, the best way to probably play this is throw one smoke in the middle and just push the smoke all together and just run through it. I'll probably run out of ammo in time. It's still a tough situation for them in general. We can see... So now we can see two of them. There wasn't a player on the left side. We've got two players behind each other. We're still looking for the third player. That's what we're trying to do right now. Finally spotted the third player rotating down the right side of the hill. Now, out of all the players, he's now pushed himself in the open, trying to get himself down to this zone early on. These two out of the zone, they haven't got a bit of an issue. We can use this tree from cover to stop all this side seeing us and take on the 1v1 situation. The car blows up. Luckily, we can use it as cover still. As we see the team is still on the left there, but we want to get the right guy down. We saw this guy on the left pushing a little bit, so we were going to go for a spray on him. There is one right now. We're trying to look for him, trying to look for his mistake on the right side. Tag this left guy, managed to beam him, what takes him down. We spot the guy on the ghillie, who's going to go back for the res. We're still looking for the right guy. We're waiting for his over peak. Finally, he takes a shot at us and goes for a sprint in the open to the smoke. We managed to take him down. Now he is in the open. He might have a self-res, but the other guy's being resed allows us to push to this close hill, which makes it very difficult for us and them. We're in a situation here where we're relying on the PUBG gods to help us out just a bit. But the big main thing of this fight, with this guy down, they are no longer in the zone. They now have to fight me in the prone position right across here. All of this is the danger zone, and they have to push it. Now we're going to try and get here, try and get prone, and we're worried about the self-res. That's the biggest issue. But if we get close here, we're going to be able to hear if he starts self-resing, and we'll be able to down him. Now, they're using their smokes to try and smoke their teammate, and they get a nice beam on me very well there. You can actually see if I can get this thing off my screen. My health is actually one shot right here. We got extremely lucky. Managed to get the first aid off as they chuck random mollies and nades in, which they unluckily don't get near me. They're going to start using their smoke grenades again. We spot one guy on the left here. Now, this ghillie guy, he's got the blue against him, so we're going to try and lock him in. Go for the shots. We don't manage to tag him too much, but now we're going to look for the other guy. Spot the other guy on the right side, going for the shots once again with their free armor. Take a couple of shots at him here. Now, that was enough shots to make that guy panic and stop shooting and put himself back in cover. But we know the left guy is going to be pushing still. He was being very aggressive in his ghillie suit. We know he's pushing through the smoke. After the first of the shots at his teammate, it is up to him to make the play, so he is going to come. The other guy up top, he is so weak right now, I don't expect him to keep shooting. Left guy makes a mistake. He goes for the full push. We know where the last guy is. We go for the shot once again. He managed to get the heal off. So you can see he went for the first aid. We go prone. Peek up. He's out of cover. Goes prone. And that is the end of the game. That was once again a very tough ending there. Even if they weren't the best players at the end there was still a tough fight to win. But the biggest mistake here is this guy pushes out too far by himself. Makes him an easy kill. And the other two, he was trying to get the res in that. So the play here for this enemy team is all they have to do is wait. All they have to do is literally wait. Don't go. None of you go down. If you just wait on the trees once the blue starts pushing you in, don't use the smokes. All the smokes do, as good as they seem in a 1v3 situation at the end to use smoke, That creates pockets of blind spots for me to be able to push and use as cover myself, even though they're so far away. This player here right now in this smoke, he can't see. He can't see where I'm going, can't see what I'm doing. The player tried to push down here. He's trying to get into the smoke for cover, but I can use it as cover myself if they manage to get into it. He is then in the open as well. So just smoking at the end in certain situations when you're the player advantage up doesn't always work. Now, there's lots of different plays in this game, but I think the number one play goes to the hip-fire Tommy gun, being extremely overpowered and being great. But being able to detect where enemies are, where to push to, and the crossing of the road, these are all things you can learn. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a little bit all over the place, but thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. And until the next one, thank you so much for watching today's video. Have you come and watched us live on twitch.tv/GamerNacho? You haven't. All you have to do is go over to twitch.tv/GamerNacho, click that follow button, and you'll get a cheeky notification every time we go live with PUBG content. Thanks so much, and we'll catch you next time.